Hey everyone, welcome to the season one roundtable wrap up of More Than Meets These Guys. I got me and Ed here. The usual spiel. I'm the lifelong fan. Ed was not, but I also have a couple of old friends of mine who are in the Discord and listen to the shows. This is Boo and Andres. Welcome, guys. Good to see Ed.
Hey,
And let's get this thing started, man. So yeah, we just finished up season one, and I mean, with it, I don't know. I got a kind of a nice rehashing of how much fun it was and how much green crystals are extremely important, and lots of other odds and ends. How about you, man?
Yeah, green crystals apparently are what makes the Earth go round. So
That
that
Kirby
was
energy,
that,
yeah.
yeah, that was the one thing. That was my big takeaway was the importance of green crystals to ecology.
Yes.
No, it was. I had a blast watching the show. But that's it. See you later. All right, wrap.
Yeah, done. All right, that's the end of the show.
So it was cool. That was
yay!
cool.
Yeah. How about you guys? I know Boo and Andres, you guys been listening during the season, and I always get like random messages from Andres like, ha ha ha, he'll say something from the episode like Egyptian lover, and that was it. It's all
Yes.
here. And so how about you guys? I mean, anything that kind of comes to mind for the season one stuff?
Oh,
Either one of you guys. Huh?
I about lost my shit the other day when Ed was making references to Better Off Dead.
So it's a Better Off Dead.
Yeah.
Oh, did I? I don't remember. Oh, that's right.
Perrier
That's
water.
The Perrier water. Yeah, the Perrier.
Oh,
Yeah. Well, you know what's funny about that movie is that you couldn't watch that movie for years on any kind of streaming service or anything like that. You couldn't even buy it anywhere. And,
Really?
and it finally dropped on iTunes, and it was like, like I'm a big Apple guy, and like I don't even mind paying the Apple tax of when a movie is $15, but like I like everything in streaming in like an online service or whatever. But when it came out like out of nowhere, and they just dropped it, and it was like $7.99 when it came out. I was like instant. I couldn't hit buy on my phone fast enough to get it on my Apple TV, and I was so excited, and I hadn't watched it in years, and I'm gonna tell you that movie aged so well. It is so perfect. I love it.
Everything Savage Steve Holland did was hilarious.
Oh my god, yeah. Well, my wife had never seen any of those, and she and I watched One Crazy Summer together. Which I actually, to be honest, in a lot of ways, I actually like. I like that one more than I like Better Off Dead. I think Better Off Dead's a better movie, but I personally, I think I watched One Crazy Summer more than I watched Better Off Dead when I was a kid.
Was he the cartoonist in that?
Yes, yeah, that's right. And let's see, what was a weird kind of collective urban myth about that movie was that you remember there was like the crazy uncle that was trying to win the radio contest in that. And my friend, and for some reason, I got it in my head that was Savage Steve Holland in doing like a self cameo, but I'm not the only person because for years my friend, my friends were like, oh, you know who that is? That's Savage Steve, and I was like, yeah, I know, I heard about that, and then finally one day, when I was old enough to work pause and read credits, we were doing it. We were like, we watched the credit, we're like, oh, that's not Savage Steve. Like I was so like destroyed that wasn't Savage Steve Holland. So.
Kind of reminds me of the guy who lives in the closet on Weird Science, who does all the sweepstakes and stuff. That was the best character in the entire movie. Yeah, man. I Boo. Anything like sticks out to you season one, man? I know you probably have forgotten more than I'll ever know about Transformers. So.
Oh, I don't even know where I am right now.
Okay, well that makes sense too.
Wait, that wasn't Weird Science. That was that Val Kilmer movie, wasn't it?
That was
Real Genius.
Real
Genius.
Yeah, that's right.
I was conflating all my weird '80s science movies.
Yeah.
Yeah. So shout out. Oh yeah. Shout out to my brother. He got me this for Secret Santa. Like we had our Secret Santa thing. Yeah. I'm like I should wear that at some point on the thing because he goes, yeah, man. So my wife, my sister-in-law, Jennifer, she goes, she shared with me like, you're doing a podcast now, like, yeah, man. He's like, yeah. She's like, have you seen this kind of thing from my brother? And it was this weird moment. I'm like, So yeah, I'm doing that now too. He's like, "How's it going?" Like, "It's pretty good." Huh? He's like, "Cool." And like, we didn't talk about it. All of a sudden, like, I get the thing in Christmas. I'm like, "Yeah, I should wear it on your podcast." And I'm like, "Guess I'm glad we're doing a video and audio version now." Yeah, I'm wearing it. You just don't know it.
Grandma got you a sweater, so you have to wear it.
She knitted it all winter.
Dude, if anybody knitted me like a Soundwave sweater, you better believe I'd wear that thing every day. like with the tape deck on the
it'd have to have that.
Yeah, dude,
you get mistaken for a microwave these days,
right?
that's fair enough.
It'd be great to have like one of those like a mesh net. It covers like a little hook, so you hit that and the hook and it opens it up. There's a little tape in there.
Oh my God,
it's too involved. Yeah, so and I'm looking through it.
Sawed off little nerd in there.
You sawed off nerd at. So yeah, man, watching through things. There's so many little things I can appreciate now. Like as I was younger, I watched it so many times, reruns, and it's so much that my brother was like, "You're still watching that?" Like, yeah, I'm watching this still. And you go through that time where you don't watch for a long time, and you come back to it and like, I wonder if this is going to be bad. Back in my 20s, when I went through and rewatched them all, I think Rhino put them out on DVD. I watched them. I'm going, yeah, at least in age I will. And then like going back in my 40s now, I kind of appreciate it more. Like, these are better than I remembered. It's this weird like peaks and valleys of how things hold up. And yeah, there's some things are still pretty bad, but some things I appreciate so much more now. I mean, really. Like I brought up the whole like thing where it was that Optimus Prime brings world peace. Basically, all the countries of the world are like, yeah, we like you guys better, so we're going to give you all the energy they're going to steal anyways to be here and protect us. So we still lose out, but we all like each other now. We're just going to give you all our energy.
Where did that plot thread go anyway? Because that was something that I was like, that's a huge thing, and then it was like just everybody just forgot about it. Like
just into the ether.
Yeah, you could have just like siphoned a little off for the Decepticons. Like, here, man, we'll subsidize you guys a little bit here. But no, it's just gone.
Yeah, they would it's like subletting a lease. So they would have like I'm guessing that the whole premise is you don't have to worry about all of us get energy anymore because they're obviously getting it all the time. Mm-hmm. And so it's probably there. It's probably one of those things like, well, this is in this part of the story, so now you don't have to worry about that anymore. So the Decepticons are going to go steal green energy now, because apparently
literal green energy.
Oh yeah,
literal green crystal energy. Oh.
Yeah,
yeah. They had plotted out that there would be a Decepticon attack to abort their launch, but they just never did anything with it.
That's.
So they were gonna go back to Cybertron then,
or they were gonna like pick up right where it left off in the pilot, like they were gonna launch and there would be a Decepticon attack that stops it, but they just let it lie. They just never touched it.
That's probably for the best though, to be honest, because I feel like there's a lot of shows and a lot of fiction that kind of falls into that trap of like the heroes are trapped somewhere, and so like every episode ends up being them trying to leave that thing, like how like the Dungeons and Dragons cartoon was. It was like every episode was them like just trying to get off or get back to the real world, but they kept failing to do that because if they did it, then the show wouldn't exist anymore. But that turns into one of those things where it's like the good guys, they win all the battles, but they lose the war because like, okay, we beat the Decepticons, but we still can't go back home because it's
Gilligan's Island.
Yeah. Wow, God, no, I didn't even think of that. Like, that's absolutely perfect.
So how many episodes of Jason the Wheeled Warriors ended with, "Hey, we're gonna go find Dad"?
Yeah,
was that the meta plot?
The next episode, and nothing changed.
He's looking for his dad with his ring, and he's using his magical space, his magical space majesty powers or whatever to go find his dad.
Yeah. The magic ring.
I didn't know that was the whole point of the show. That's funny. What's fun? I was at a collectible toy store yesterday, and I found a bunch of Jason the Wheeled Warriors. And,
really?
Yeah, they had a couple that were complete, and but they were pricey. They were like $100.
Well, that's because sourcing one of those back together is kind of difficult.
Yeah, I was about to say there's a ton of little tiny pieces to lose, and
there's no centralized information. Like, not even the instructions don't even tell you everything that's supposed to be in there.
Oh, wow.
Oh, no. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, those things came with like 17 different wheels. I remember that. It was like, here, you can change out this is gold, and these are silver, and these are directional.
I got a Sawboss up on the shelf right here, actually.
I remember the only one I had was actually Jace. I had that claw on the top of it, and of course, you take the claw off, onto the side, and put it, you put it everywhere, and then you lose it.
I think that's called Armed Force.
Yeah, something like that. I don't know. It's all it knows is the main character.
Well, that's just that the toy line wasn't Jason the Wheeled Warriors. It was just Wheeled Warriors.
Wheeled Warriors, yeah.
Well,
the show was radically different concept-wise.
Yeah, I guess they had to give it some kind of plot, and someone, I don't know how true this is, or if there's any kind of any sort of backing for this, but apparently J. Michael Straczynski had a lot to do with that.
Yes.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Yeah, so I mean,
he actually has the script for a movie that would conclude it, but it never got developed.
Okay, it's pretty strong, like authorship for writing on that. That's pretty cool. But so like back to this though. I mean, I was I was having this discussion with Alice earlier, my wife, and she's like, she was gonna be involved in this. She kind of like said, you know what? I don't know if I really have enough I can contribute. I'm like, well, just be there. She's like, I don't know. So I said, no problem. You
really want to expose her to your friends?
Wait a minute. Oh, hold on. She doesn't.
Ed.
She doesn't know that. Yeah. I first met her at your wedding, strangely enough. But but she didn't feel like she had enough to contribute to the show. Like, she doesn't know anything about Transformers. Does she know my gimmick on this podcast?
Yes. Yes. Exactly.
We don't need two of you.
I mean, you barely need one of me. So
no, that's I was like, just make me look better. Come on, be on there. No, the whole thing with her, she was like, I don't know what I can do, but she's like, but then again, also, I don't know if I like this. It's like, she doesn't like superhero movies. She hates Captain America. She hates Superman. She hates all these things. And she says, you know what? I like the Decepticons better. I said, like, most girls like the Decepticons better. I don't know why that is. It just happens to be.
It's a bad boy thing.
Yeah, well, that or actually they're more interesting characters.
They got Soundwave. No wonder. I mean, Jesus Christ, good God, they got the Egyptian lover is in there. Man, that dude, they didn't call that guy the Egyptian lover for nothing. Exactly.
Well, yeah, like Starscream, like Fire in the Sky, which is why I was getting at this point, showing that he's a lot more than the two-dimensional, usurping second in command guy. He was a scientist. He was an explorer. He had a life before all this stuff happened. So that was one of those things where I feel like they kind of reached deep on that one. It's not just one of those afternoon, take characters and place them into a story. It doesn't matter who it is. We can build a story around this. So there's every so often they get to that point where they say, well, there's something more to this character, and it was really cool when they did that. It made the shows a lot better. But of course, there's also the times when the Constructicons are apparently built in caves, where by Megatron, and then at some afternoon, but they show up later in season 2 where they're on Cybertron, where they're just hanging out and beating up on Omega Supreme.
With their Earth modes.
Yeah, exactly. Like, we're too lazy to make different models, so we're just gonna look like construction vehicles. Green ones, no.
And then the next season, there's a flashback, and there's
don't spoil it.
Don't know what's coming. I have no idea what's coming.
Yeah, Ed's about to find out what a bad episode is in season 2.
Oh no.
What was it?
Isn't season 2 going to be significantly longer than season 1? Also,
yeah. Oh yeah,
like a full 36 episodes or whatever.
It's weird because like the first part of season 2 is like just more random Earth stuff, and then the new characters keep getting introduced every week, and then like part 2 of it is like kind of like the Autobots in space. There's all kinds of really cool characters that got built off that, and just some really weird episodes.
Well, season 3 leans real into the hard sci-fi. It's great.
Which is nice. Season 2 get kind of silly, and season 3, same thing. Season 3 has some really hard, some hard to watch bad episodes, but some really good ones too.
Yeah.
Season 3 is post the movie though, right? Season 2, the movie. Season 3, is that?
Yeah.
Okay.
It has more of those I guess some moral quandaries, the ethical dilemma kind of stories.
Yeah.
So which is why it does a lot better. Like when we were kids, of course, we hated it. no one liked it when we were kids because it was like, what is this? I want to see Hoist go in a movie set. It doesn't really work.
I want to see that now. What are you talking
right?
about?
Oh, you will.
Oh boy,
Hoist Goes Hollywood season 2.
Oh, yeah. Season 2, Ed will get to experience ACOM for the first time.
ACOM. Wow, you guys laughing? I don't even know if I want to look that up or not.
Yeah, it's one of the when they made season 2, it was so massive compared to season 1 that they had to shop out the animation to different animation studios.
Oh no!
Yeah.
Well, spoiler: they did that some in season 1 too, or season 1. Also,
oh yeah. But I mean, it's very noticeable in season 2 and 3.
Oh yeah, good to know.
Yeah.
Good to know. Can't wait.
When there's an ACOM episode, you're watching ACOM.
Yeah, there's no doubt.
Nice.
Yeah, you'll have
Gail goes out the window. You get miscolored characters in the background as extras.
Yeah, the scale is wacky.
Is that who did Carnage in C minor?
Yes.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Okay.
I want to say like Autobot Run will be the first time you run into that.
Oh my god, that's a bad episode too. So that's cool.
Yeah. See.
Yeah, there's when we get to it, season 3. If we don't get thrown off the air before that, now the season 3 has this episode called Carnage in C minor. Now, Carnage in C minor is one of the most notoriously badly animated episodes. There's like almost this bobbleheaded Galvatron. He's got this huge head and this like tiny body. There's Galvatron and Soundwave flying, holding hands together.
Holding hands, yeah.
There's
action figure-sized Constructicons.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man, I can't wait.
Yeah, there's some great stuff in there. So like ACOM is it's very evident. It's probably what really what most of the things we remember from season 2 that were really bad. But you have things like The Gambler, which is a great episode. We have
The Gambler.
Yeah.
Bro, oh god. I know it's not going to be a Kenny Rogers crossover, and I'm already
cool
bummed out.
Not unless Dev Con is Kenny Rogers.
Dude, I would eat that. Oh. See, that's catnip for me there. I'd eat that right up.
Man, in the season 3 for the movie also, some of the best characters come out of the movie and they get brought in season 3. You have like, Quintessons, once again you have Transformers change their origin story once a season at least.
Yeah.
At least, if not more.
Like, what do you mean? They change for the Transformers themselves, or
yeah?
Oh yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah. Like then.
I think I remember you telling me about this like years and years ago. Like there's something how like they keep going like back to like their prehistory and like there's
we're gonna change this thing now too, and so luckily season 1 is pretty cohesive. If it just was one season, and like we were talking about before, Heavy Metal War was obviously supposed to be the bookend of season 1, and it kind of lets off where maybe the Decepticons all like melted in the magma, but it in a way that
magma.
Yes,
magma.
Yeah, I think there's so many things that season 1, if they had gone in order, would have made more sense, but
it definitely would have.
Yeah,
it was kind of fun watching this because Ed's experienced this the same way we did as we saw it just air. And nothing made sense, you know.
Skyfire shows up and like, wait, who's this big jet? Oh, you'll find out in 3 episodes.
Yeah,
it's like, you'll find out. Like you'll see. Just hang in there. Like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
I don't know about all this.
You'll see.
He was cool. He was a really cool character, though. He was definitely in the upper tier for me as far as cool guys go.
Yeah, don't get too used to him though. He's going to go away pretty quickly because lawsuits and copyright.
Yeah, it's a shame they had so much legal trouble with him because he was a good character, but yeah, they could only do so much with him.
Yeah.
In the story Bible, I think they actually told them like try not to use him, like only use him where necessary.
Air taxi, yes,
right.
See, that's messed up because
they're about Reflector too, right?
Oh, really?
Oh yeah, but
really?
I don't know why they did that with Reflector because he was a Takara product. That was always odd. Like they just decided
they just randomly decided not to sell Reflector in stores, didn't they?
Yeah, he was mail order only.
The camera. So yeah, they have but then again, they also didn't bring in some of the other mail order characters, like you didn't see any of the Omnibots brought in, like all these mail away Powerdashers that they
the what? The Omnibots.
Yeah.
Smaller. Who put out the Omnibots? Who was the original creator of those?
That was Takara also, I believe.
Takara? Okay.
Yeah.
It was like
Powerdashers?
Let's see. I've got down. Yeah, they were Takara as well.
You can take your little points off the back of your packages and get them together and send like shipping and handling and order these very hard to get mail order figures. And there were these it was almost like a red Ferrari, another smaller I think Datsun. Was it still a Datsun?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was still it was like a silver blue streak looking fair lady. And I can't remember what the white car was.
It was a Celica.
Celica. So you could like order
cool.
these. Yeah, you order these, and they were smaller, and they weren't in the show. They weren't in the comics, really. I don't think they were.
No.
And so they were just these weird mailaways, and they had the Powerdashers, which were like there was one that looked, it was like a ship that you could pull back and let them go, and there was the spaceship, there was the drill. I can't remember
and a race car.
Yeah, it was a race car. Yeah.
Yeah.
So were they, when you said they were smaller, were they? But they were bigger than like mini-bots? But
yeah.
Smaller than like a regular Transformer?
They were like in between.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's like a step down.
Because they were cars, we automatically compare them to Autobot cars.
Yeah.
And but they weren't from like Microman or Micronauts or no, I guess not Micronauts.
Diaclone,
like,
probably, right?
Diaclone, yeah.
Diaclones, okay.
Were they really?
That sounds pretty cool. That's
yeah, it was a specific line of Diaclones that really pushed that intermediate mode with all the, because each one of them could take like the assault mode.
Yeah, like guns pop out, missiles and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, you had a lot of that stuff. Reflector. He was a Microman, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. He was
So
Microman.
you basically had this like little 3-guy camera you can have. That was part of the Microman line, Microchange. And so you have all those little side things that they were trying anything they could throw the Transformers label on it and make it available, because it was like Transformers was their first $1 billion property.
There we go. I posted one of the mailaways for Ed to see.
Oh, in the Discord.
Yeah.
Oh, thanks.
There you go. So yeah, everyone, at the end of this, if you want to see what the Boo's posting, join the Discord. It's in there. Shameless plug.
You should be on it anyway, but
yeah, you should be. So yeah, is anything like you guys like?
Oh, it didn't go through.
You noticed from season 1 that maybe you we didn't bring it up or anything like that. You guys.
I dropped my phone.
All right, so that went well. Both you guys, Jason, Boo, is there anything from like we didn't go over in season 1 that you like stuck out to you that you bring in?
Oh,
I feel like there's things like we've glossed over, and you or even Tim, I think, brought up in the Discord.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to remember. It's like, what did we talk about? There's so much we've discussed.
He brought up he put in the Discord in the Ultimate Doom, I think part 2 or part 3. There was like 3 of those green power crystals outside of a place in Cybertron. So apparently, green crystals was like a big thing.
Oh yeah, they liked green crystals in the whole show.
Was that the
TL posted that?
Yeah, Tim did. It was like, was it the stone you brought up was like olivinium or something like that?
Oh, I did. It was olivine.
Olivine.
Yeah, olivine makes up like a vast majority of the mantle. So, the Earth is full of green crystals.
We can only tap into that great power source.
Okay. So that pic just went through of the Omnibots. Okay, I have a vague memory of having that mail order. Though I didn't have I've said before I didn't have a lot of Transformers, but I ended up with those. I think because they were probably pack-ins with like the bigger guys, I guess maybe.
Yeah.
But like I remember having this and really wanting one of these guys. I remember really wanting Downshift because I thought he was the coolest looking one. But like I didn't know anything about cars back then, and I thought the Downshift was a stupid name because I thought that it meant you were going slower.
In a Celica, no less.
Hey, Celica is that's a champion's car. Oh. I never had a Celica. Was that a Celica? Oh no, I did have a Celica. That's right. I had that car for it was white too. That was a cool car. It had the louvers on the back hatch.
The louvers?
So you knew you were cool. You were going to the beach probably. You had those.
Powerdasher triggers me.
I can tell. He was just.
I tell you what triggers me is the fact that I didn't know that we weren't recording, and we just did like a whole like 10-minute bit there, and I didn't know that we weren't recording.
Hey, look at this! I didn't have to edit. Zab dropping a few bombs in there, so it's okay.
That's fine too.
His blasphemous babble.
I knew the recorder wasn't on.
Appreciate that. Trying to keep it clean.
I'll try.
Yeah. So man, there are all kinds of cool things they did. Like they would do anything to drop a Transformers name on like a. I don't know if you guys remember this. I have one somewhere. It was it was like a half headset with a rumble face on it. You could change your voice through it.
Oh yeah.
What? Oh man, I've got one somewhere. I don't know if it still works, but yeah, it has this like actually it's a frenzy face because it's red.
Oh, I remember that.
Yeah. So I've got them. They would throw all the stuff because they said, "Oh my gosh, guys, we've got something here. What can we make Transformers?" Let me look around and find all the things that like have no reason to be Transformers. They're gonna put Transformers on it, and they did that a lot with the movie stuff like Ultra Magnus walkie talkies or something. I remember that. I don't know.
I don't know why.
I had the Soundwave tape player as a kid.
Oh wow!
Oh yeah, I have that one still.
God, that sounds super cool. Wow,
it's
that was a thing.
It's not cool at all. It's not articulated.
Oh man, you could have just let me go the rest of my life without knowing that it wasn't cool.
I'll
say though, I don't know why
you get to have the disappointment I had as a kid.
So like, why did every toy manufacturer in the 80s think that the kids just wanted walkie-talkies? Like we lined up for walkie-talkies back then. I mean, I had a ton of walkie-talkies back then, but I can't think of any time that I ever used those gimmick ones because like I think my friend was big into firefighting. My best friend at the time was big into he wanted to be a firefighter, and a spoiler, guess what he became?
A firefighter?
A paramedic. But no, for real talk though, he actually listens to the show every now and then.
Jared?
What's up?
Oh no, not Jared. I'm thinking like I'm thinking Jared Cash.
No. This is my friend Ryan from back up north where I'm from. But anyway, no, he had a nice set of walkie-talkies, and so it was like every time we got like these cheap ones, every time we got like Darth Vader ones or something like that, or like Transformers or like the official G.I. Joe one, which we were obsessed with. We were like, why would we ever? These are trash. Why would we ever use these things when we have you had like a nice set of like Maxons or something like that, or like let's just use those instead. So
yeah, I think we ended up having like 2 or 3 different pairs of like Radio Shack ones. There was like the only thing you do. There were like these big black ones, and you could go 10 feet away and start to be like garbled. All you would do is go around and hit the big orange button on, do the squeal like. Because that's all you can really do with them. They're terrible. They
learn the day. That was for Morse code. You had to do Morse code.
I know. Yeah, totally. And obviously, we all knew Morse code, so that's how we communicated. Obviously.
They were printed right there on the walkie-talkies, dude.
Don't throw that trash away, man. It's just gonna be squeals. Oh god, the bonkers candy ad. That's crazy. Right? Yeah, look at that. That sound wave. Is that the tape player? Yeah.
Yeah, that's the actual cassette player. The full-size cassette player.
He's fine. You guys are out of your mind. He is fine. Oh God, he's beautiful.
His feet move. That's it.
He has to turn sideways to go through doorways.
He's a wide boy. He looks like a football player.
That's the wall from the electric company, man.
Oh, here we go.
Oh my God, deep cut. I love it.
Here's a comparison with the toy Soundwave, the action figure with the cassette player. Let's see, it's loading.
So yeah, once again, guys. Oh my gosh.
Oh, good lord.
Huge.
Oh, what a hoss.
It'd be super meta if you got one of those tape players and put the single for Egyptian Lover through it.
Oh, nice.
Somebody make it happen. If you don't, I'm gonna gut a G1 Soundwave and then put like a little MP3 player in there.
You can get an MP3 player for Soundwave.
They already exist.
They already exist.
It came out like early 2000s, right? No, like maybe 2010.
Yeah, music label.
Yep. Music label Soundwave. That's right.
And you can get Rumble and Frenzy headphones for it.
That's right.
Like the little speaker disc will turn into Frenzy and Rumble.
That one that you just posted, it actually is an MP3 player?
Yeah, that's the MP3 player. That's the music label.
That's a good looking sculpt too, man. I think that looks just as good as G1, man. That's actually pretty cool.
Then
the chest opens and accepts a memory card.
Yeah.
Oh God, how cool is that?
And then you can go get your flash drive Ravage.
Yep. Did they make a flash drive Ravage?
Oh yeah.
Oh, you can actually get it. Like they, like China remakes everything, so you can find those pretty easily if you look around for cheap. Probably like take out.
They're all over Wish.
Oh, Wish.
Oh yeah.
Wish, yeah.
You probably pop out the insides, put a bigger flash drive in there.
And Andres, what does the icon on that do on your desktop?
What's up?
The Ravage icon, doesn't it do something on your desktop?
Yeah, you were telling me it goes around and like when you have it connected, when the idle animation for the thing, Ravage will walk around your desktop and start gnawing on your other icons.
Yeah. Okay, I thought you told me that. That's why I was like,
that's awesome. That's like something you would have gotten in like Windows 95 or something.
Oh
like
my
that.
god,
yeah, that was like an XP thing, wasn't it?
A little pixelated Ravage walking around.
Didn't Ono himself tell you that at con one year?
Oh no,
I think he might have announced it. Yeah, at one of the panels. Yeah.
Oh no, is that Takara guy or?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you guys have been to a lot more BotCons than I have, so. Well, I stopped going. I lost the spirit.
Yeah, because he's the guy that designed Sunstreaker, right? Like.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did the very first transforming car to robot toy, which was Sunstreaker.
Wow. Oh, no kidding.
Yeah.
Oh, before I forget, a piece of trivia: that original music label Soundwave, that was where they got the color scheme for the Shatterglass Soundwave.
Oh yeah, the white one.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm not a big fan of that stuff.
Well, I don't blame you.
Yeah, he looks kind of awful, but
he doesn't have the headband.
So yeah, man. Ultimate Doom though, like I feel like the season 1 did a lot of things like this. First season of G.I. Joe did the same thing, where you have these like the Revenge of Cobra, miniseries, or you have like the Ultimate Doom miniseries. Kind of miss those things.
Oh yeah, that was a staple of the 80s. Yeah. Like every show had their 5-parter.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, even the show, the original, 3-parter of Transformers, More Than Meets the Eye, part 1, 2, 3. Even that was it was a big thing. That's how you started off a show. Yes, you introduce everyone. You had the roll call, and G.I. Joe would have the roll call of all the troops. Transformers the same way with all the Autobots. And the Ultimate Doom was really kind of a 4-parter because you have the Ultimate Doom 1, 2, 3. Then you have Countdown to Extinction.
Right.
Where, Dr. Archiville, what do you want to say? He gets put into a like a wheelchair on Cybertron, and then we don't hear from him anymore. He's probably a skeleton sitting in a closet somewhere now.
Well, a skeleton with some metal parts on it.
Right.
He's got like half metal parts, half skeleton sitting in some supply closet.
He's like one of the.
He looks like the cover of Dracula 3000.
So he never shows back up though?
Nope. He's just
nobody
knows what happened to him.
Oh, he got smushed, I guess, dude. I don't know.
Right. Like there's peripheral stuff that he shows up again, but if we went into non-show stuff, we'd be here for a week.
Oh, well, yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah, I mean, there's those things like you have Cobra Commander showing up in later Transformers as Old Snake.
Dude, I cannot wait to see this. I had no idea that was a thing. I am ridiculously excited to see this.
Oh, no. Well, on top of that, one of the main humans in season 3 is Flint and Lady J's daughter.
Oh, that's right. Marissa Fairborn.
Yeah. So they really tightened the connection between G.I. Joe and Transformers, even though there was never an official animated crossover.
Yeah, they did a lot. So you basically got the idea that's in the same universe.
Yeah.
So right now in the show, somewhere Cobra's like building their terrorist organization. Destro is selling arms to some third world country, and G.I. Joe's trying to, I guess, recruit from the Marine Corps or something, like trying to find.
Makes you wonder, did Destro ever sell arms to Carbamia?
Oh God, that's another one you got to see later on too.
I know the story. I know the story. That one I have actually. But yeah, that seems like a place Destro would do business. I mean, he doesn't have a whole lot of scruples,
No, right?
They've got a Terradrome over there.
Oh, they probably got multiple Terradromes. I think I've probably got a couple.
You have things like that. Like, there's just a lot of loose ends. Season 1 to season 2, obviously. They tried to. I think because they didn't know if they're gonna get re-picked up for season 2, obviously. So you have a lot of the season 1 stuff. They just like with a building of the Constructicons in a cave somewhere. Skyfire just kind of disappears. I don't know how many episodes if he is in season 2 at all. Do you remember that, Boo?
I want to say it's only like 2 or 3, I think, total.
And then he just kind of goes away. He like goes and I guess he dives back in the Arctic ice or something. I don't know.
Yeah, because I want to say there's Day of the Machines and Attack of the Autobots are the 2 that I recall right offhand that he's in.
Day of the Machines.
Yeah, him and Reflector.
Yeah.
Yeah, Day of the Machines. I saw someone did a 3D printing of that by the main computer from Day of the Machines.
Oh yeah, Torque 3.
Torque 3, yeah. There's a lot of almost, I want to say like kind of corny Outer Limits style or Twilight Zone style plot points they use in a lot of season 2 episodes.
Yeah. There was an interview with it might have been Flint Dille that talked about that, like they were all doing the network like Saturday morning cartoons, and they had so many standards and practices to follow that their stories would just get chopped up to like nothing. They would get watered down. And so when they started working for Transformers, which was syndicated, they didn't have those rules, and they asked, well, what can we write about? And they said, well, yeah, just write about anything. So they just went nuts with their stories.
Which is
why they were like cut loose.
Which is why some of the season 2 stories are just gonzo.
Oh yeah, and I mean they hit on a lot of sci-fi tropes and stuff about questioning religion and all kinds of stuff that you'd never seen before in a children's cartoon.
Oh yeah,
yeah,
and Atlantis Rising and all that.
Oh yeah.
Oh God,
I'm very excited to start watching season 2 now. This sounds pretty great.
Well, and then the environmental message started working then too with the Golden Lagoon.
Even more than it is in season 1, because I feel like it's there in season 1.
Oh no, this one's very heavy-handed. This one, I mean, it practically has the Greenpeace stamp on it.
Yeah, you have the original Beatnik Autobot is in season 2. He's a dune buggy.
He was the first Transformer made specifically for Transformers.
Really? Beachcomber?
Yeah, Beachcomber was the very first one that wasn't taken from some other line.
That's interesting. You see a lot of the stuff in later season 2, and I think definitely all season 3 is they were made first as toys. Or actually they're made like drawn out for the show and then made into toys. So we're gonna get away from this. And I think why the aesthetic changes so much. What I think a lot of people really love about this season 1 stuff is you have a lot of those this old Diaclone, Microman, Microchange designs that I mean they don't really translate well into animation, which is why Megatron is such a terrible toy. And then a lot of the cars just aren't great toys. You look at them wrong and the hood falls off. But you get into season 2 and into seasons 3 and you see a lot of these things that are actually translate really well. Still kind of rough, but not as bad.
I was really confused for a second there. Oh, go ahead, Zab. I'm sorry.
Megatron's animation model was based on an earlier concept of that toy.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
So the toy developed further, whereas the design for the show stayed as what it was.
Well, good thing they didn't go with the design for the toy because it was god awful.
Yeah.
It is pretty bad.
It will trigger you.
Leg day.
Pull my trigger. All right. What are you saying though, Ed?
So yeah, I was confused for a second when you mentioned Beachcomber, the dune buggy, because I was thinking of a different toy altogether. So there was I don't know if I told this story on the show or not, but there was once where my grandfather and I were like in like the backwoods in North Carolina, and we ended up at like a dollar store, and they had Transformers in heavy quotation marks there, and one guy was called Buggy Man.
Buggy Man.
I was like, right, yeah. Well, that was the thing is that I got him and I opened it up and I started playing with it. And I was like, this is awful. And my grandfather, real hardworking dude, didn't like TV, didn't like any sort of as far as he was concerned, it was like the two interests in the world were working on the farm and the Bible. That was and playing guitar, playing gospel songs on the guitar. That was all the entertainment you needed. It's like, and working on the farm counted as part of that entertainment. Anyway, So he just saw my disappointment in this thing when we're driving home in the truck, and when I'm playing with this thing, and I was like, this is awful. What a terrible thing. And then, but then I was like, this is a total knockoff. And I was probably 7 or 8. I was like putting it together. And I was like, this is a cheap piece of junk. This is bad. But then I remember later on, like a couple of weeks later, I was out with my dad, and we were in the big city, which is anywhere not where my grandparents' farm was. And I saw the GoBot. I was like, oh, this really is a knockoff of a GoBot, but it is a GoBot. And then come to find out that Buggy Man was an actual like Japanese dude, I guess, from something or another.
Machine Robo.
Machine Robo. That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that was weird. As a matter of fact, that was supposed to say the card for it was actually Machine Robo branded, which in hindsight I think is really bizarre. I don't know if those just like if those got imported or if there was like some weird like some dude just like decided to buy a bunch of like a pallet of Machine Robos from Japan, thinking they would sell in the States and sell them at discount stores or something like that.
Oh yeah, you see a lot of those Machine Robos
happen from time to time.
Yeah, well, there are Diaclones being sold under the Diachron label too at the same time, like right next to Transformers.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I remember when I was young, I saw a Diaclone. I saw a Diaclone Devastator in a toy store window.
Mm-hmm.
Who? Oh, Devastator.
Devastator.
Exactly. Yeah. But it was out of package, so
it looked terrible.
Yeah, it was just out of package, and it was there all assembled in the window, and I'm looking at it and I'm like, why is there Devastator funny colors? What is this?
Yeah. And that's how that was. I mean, it was kind of a golden time for for to grow up as kids. You see all this stuff. Like I remember there's a store down the street from where I lived a lot of my life that had like the Go Lion lions, and they had the Matchbox ones that they were there in the same store. And I'm like, I don't know. And the Go Lion sounds dumb. You want the Voltron Matchbox ones,
right?
So a lot of that stuff happened in the we're growing up. It's kind of the golden time for all of us in that way.
Oh yeah, I remember thinking the Diachron Grimlock. That's how we figured out they had little men that went in the cockpits on their back.
Yep.
And they had that Microx reflector. You could buy that one in the store, but not real reflector, which was odd.
It's funny. I know. I've got some of those little guys somewhere because I've got that old Optimus Prime with the metal inserts on the sides, not stickers.
Oh yeah,
the little metal feet on them, so you can stand them on these in the middle pieces inside the trailer. It's cool stuff, Speaking
of Voltron, have you ever watched Go Lion?
No.
Oh man, it is surprisingly brutal.
Is it better than Voltron? Because as I'm sure you know, I use that as my measuring stick for things that are just have aged poorly that you just need to leave in the past.
Well, the story is a lot tighter and makes a lot more sense. I would go into it, but this is a family program.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's like
they cut a lot of it out.
Yeah.
I'm not kidding. There's some brutal stuff in that show.
Well,
I know that Sven got killed in the original one, but then in Voltron, he came back and then he left. He wanted to go away for a little while.
Yeah, no, like getting into character motivations, I can't do that on this show.
Oh no!
Wow.
Oh yeah!
Oh, wow. Okay. All right. Yeah. Well. All right.
Check it out. Yeah. You had a lot of that stuff though. You really. I think I've never really watched any of the Diaclone stuff, or I don't know if there was any Diaclone shows. I mean, just been a toy line.
There was only commercials.
Yeah.
Okay. I was over there one night. We were gaming over at Ed's house one night, and all you do, you got to watch these YouTube videos. Diaclone.
We sat there all night watching those commercials. They're so good.
Stop motion animation. Diaclone. That was so good, and like. It's like it triggered me for a while hearing that I'm like, dude, I gotta watch this now. There's a lot of that though. That's kind of the beauty of growing up in that time is you had Radio Shack would have Galactic Man, the gray sound or Shockwave,
and Astro Magnum.
Yeah,
Astro Magnum. Who was that?
It was another officially licensed version of Shockwave that was like gray and different colors.
Oh, no kidding. Oh, okay.
Yeah, so you'd find a lot of these toys because like Shockwave and Omega Supreme and several other ones they weren't taken from Takara. Hasbro just started licensing toys from like any transforming
Okay.
toy line at all.
Whatever they could find.
They were called like Toy Box or something, weren't they?
Yeah, Toy Box. Yeah, I think that was Skylinks.
Okay.
No, it wasn't. No, Skylinks.
No, he was Tommy.
Tommy, yeah. Well, I think he was Toy Box, but they actually had Tommy make him for Toy Box.
Right.
I think something like that.
It's
very muddy.
Yeah, it gets real muddy.
That's why Japan never got Skylinks during the 80s, because that was a competitor's toy.
Yeah, their reissue was actually the first Japanese release of that figure. But after the toy line and the cartoon really hit over here in America, Takara wanted to get a piece of that. So they basically imported the American cartoon back to Japan, and they rebranded the whole like Diaclone and Microman line under Transformers. But they wanted to cut out all the stuff that wasn't there. So that's why you saw less Skyfire. And
because that was a Bandai toy.
Yeah, it was a Bandai toy. And they wanted to cut back, on basically anything that wasn't Takara. So the more they got involved with it, the less you saw of those toys. And there are certain figures that never got shown, like Roadbuster and Whirl and the Deluxe Insecticons. Those guys were just cast aside.
Also, right?
Yeah, they were Takatoku, weren't they? And then
yeah. They didn't even get all 6 Seekers originally.
Yeah.
Weird.
Like 1 or 2 of them were only mailaways over there.
Yeah, you had a lot of the stuff, though. I mean, honestly, I can share with you sometime, Ed, if you'd like, the soundtrack for these Japanese shows, which are a lot.
Yes, please, absolutely, please.
A lot of the later Transformers. Yeah. A lot of the later original line of Transformers really weren't released in Japan, so they made their own shows. They had like Headmasters, Master Force, and then you had things that they started bringing. They had an episode of Victory. They had their full season, but they had an episode of Zone, and then they had other things that were manga only. So you had a lot of these toys that we got over here near the end, like Micromasters. These here I've got one up here actually. A guy that's this size, and basically made a show with like big bases and small guys, or like in a manga, like things like that. Pretenders that we had over here, but we didn't have. They were in the comic. They didn't make it in the show. The show was canceled before that happened. So you had a lot of things. They went a lot further. They really never had a downtime.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
So I meant to say earlier also that when I was at that toy store yesterday, or whenever it was, I think it was yesterday. They have a Combiner Wars Devastator or Devastor on the shelf. I did not realize how big that thing. I think it's ridiculously huge.
Dude, he's behind me.
Oh, I know. Oh no, you showed it to me before.
He's like the size of a small child.
He's giant, and I really wanted it. I was really on the verge of busting out the credit card, but
yeah.
Thankfully, I got distracted by 80s. They had 80s Mad magazines in there, which is my secret weakness.
Oh yeah,
you can get that Combiner War Devastator off AliExpress.
Really?
Oh, no kidding. What's it go for on there?
What's it? Well, it's not. It's a recast.
I mean, but as long as it looks cool, I mean,
right?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you can get that thing for about $50 over there.
Really? Whoa, that's way less than they had it for like.
Well, because it's not a legitimate toy.
Yeah, well, that's fine. I don't care about legitimate. That's fine.
That's like flea market find stuff, man. Come on.
Yeah, man. Nah, man. They had it listed for like $280 or something like that.
Yeah, that's about right. But so to get back to the show one more time.
What are we talking about?
Yeah, it ended on the Plague of Insecticons. And what were the Insecticons from? What line were they? They were from
that was Diaclone.
That was Diaclone also. That's right.
Those were the enemy mecha.
Yeah, they were the bad guys.
Yeah, there was like just them. And like
the Warados.
Yeah.
Exactly. There were other Waruder figures in Japan. They just weren't brought over here.
Yeah. And so you had these really kind of cool looking and they actually made them all look uniform because they were like on their little base subline of like Decepticons. But you had like all these things that I feel like they were kind of shoehorning in the end of season 1.
Yeah.
But tell you what, man, honestly, we've kind of rambled on for quite a while, so I'm gonna start wrapping this up.
Oh yeah.
I think we talked a little bit about season 1. That's honestly what happens when we all get together and start talking about things.
Right.
So anyways, I want to say thanks guys for showing up. I know Tim was going to try to be here. Jess was thinking about it. But we do what we can. And honestly, we just, I guess while we've been on the show, there's been a lot of stuff shared in the Discord, a lot of good information. And please guys, stop by the Discord, say hi. We honestly, season 1 went by a lot faster than I thought it would.
Mm-hmm.
It was one of those things where it started off like, well, let's try this, see how it works. And once we got going, it was just like cranking through, man.
It's also the shortest season of the 3, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. Well,
yeah, season 2 is going to be the marathon run.
That's where I'd probably take a break in the middle there somewhere.
Yeah.
Find a breaking point in the middle. But yeah, so we're gonna drop our contact information. If you we're gonna get more useless information of Transformers and Transformers that could have been, drop by the Discord, talk to all of us. So we'll definitely be there. Ed, it was actually went by a lot faster than I thought it would. So I appreciate, man. Like, it was, once we got going with this, it's been cranking. It's just, it took a little while to get everything kind of in line and working. But I'm glad it did.
Yeah, same. No, I'm definitely having a lot of fun with this, even if it's I don't know if I don't know if I could say that it's good, like from like an adult point of view. Like, I don't know if I can be like, man, this is the best thing I've ever. This is like Frank Herbert level science fiction we're watching here. Like, it's I mean, which is not, but I am having quite a blast with the whole thing. And again, I've got to say that the Transformers community, for the most part, or the ones that I sort of interact with, are all pretty awesome. So thanks a lot. And
so we tend to like, get away from the toxicity. So
we keep you sheltered.
That's true. Very
keep on
true.
Doing that then. Keep it up.
Keep that good impression going.
Yeah, keep me in the fandom, because that's what'll keep me away from Nazis, and then maybe I'll buy some robots here pretty soon. So
who knows? All right, guys. We'll wrap it up here then. Boo, Andres, good to see you guys.
Glad thanks for having us.
Yeah, definitely, man. We'll do this again sometime. Ed, I don't know if you have any quotes, man, because this is just kind of like unscripted, just to knock around the ideas and stuff.
I don't. The only quote I have is that there was cool interaction at the beginning before we were recording, even on the first segment, and there was a whole chunk about Death's Head that got cut out, and I'm kind of bummed out because. Yeah, well, because something I found out while we were talking about it is I looked up Death's Head just to see what the deal with him was, and I didn't realize that there was like a reboot of Death's Head 2, and then like a spinoff of a guy named Death Metal, which in addition to being the coolest name for a robot, but it was also created by a guy named Dan Abnett, who Dan Abnett is one of my favorite sci-fi writers, because he writes books for Warhammer 40,000, and he is one of the main writers for the Black Library. And basically, go ahead.
Not only that, the first Guardians of the Galaxy movie was based on his comic run.
You're absolutely right. That is absolutely correct. Yeah. But basically, if you're ever, because like licensed fiction, like novels are usually pretty bad for the most part. Like you see like a Doom novel, you're like, that's some tie-in trash. But with Warhammer stuff, you ever see them on the shelf, you're like, oh, Dan Abnett, oh, this one's going to be good, and they are good. So they're legitimately good sci-fi books. So.
Yeah, my wife actually loves the Horus Heresy.
Yeah, he wrote the first Horus Heresy book. He wrote Horus Rising.
Okay, then my wife would really dig that. She loves Horus Heresy.
It's good stuff. So, but yeah.
Cool.
So, well, see, I was going to get that back in the show. See, I wanted that bit back in there.
Nice. All right,
so
cool,
guys.
That's
my quote. Death's Head's awesome. So that's my quote.
Yeah, there we go.
All right.
Yeah, there you go. So yeah, we're gonna cut it here, and guys, we will be back next week. With subdivisions. Well, actually, no. Next week is going to be we're going to do a work together with another podcast.
Oh yeah. So I don't know how much of it I want to give away, but yeah, we're doing a crossover with another show, and
fun.
We are discussing the Michael Bay cinematic triumph. Transformers.
Yes.
No, the deal is that I have a friend that's been doing a podcast for years, and all they do is talk about movies, like just basically like current movies or whatever. But for some reason, their rating system, they have one rating system, and it's like, I watched this movie and it's either better than Transformers or it's worse than Transformers. That's their whole scale. That's all they have, and it's basically perfect. But I can't figure out if they mean that Transformers is the most average movie, if that's the baseline of movies, or if they mean that Transformers is awful and it's like the floor, like
nowhere to go but up.
Right. I don't know which one it is. So I'm really curious to. I know there's 3 guys that do this show, and one of them is been a friend of mine for like 30 plus years. The other 2 guys I don't know, but I don't know if we're getting just my friend or him and one other guy, or him and 2 other guys. I don't really care, because either way they're all pretty good guys, and they do a good show. So
it'll be a good time, man.
Yeah, it should be a lot of fun.
Well, yeah. So let's cut it here before we run out of time, everyone. And thank you so much for being here for this season 1. And here we're gonna do a few detours and then get into season 2. So this is Evan, your lifelong Transformers fan, signing off here with Ed, the dude who didn't really give a care in his young years. There you go. I had to clean that up from when I to speak. And I've just to give a little background. I've known Boo and Andres for 20 plus years now, 25 years.
Yeah,
it's been a while.
Since
so
like 9.
Good to have you guys here.
Too long. Not too
All right. This is Morethanmeetstheseguys, season 1 signing off. Y'all take it easy.
Good night.